Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. And we are obviously back because WPL had a break of one day. Snehashish and I also took a little break from WPL live on that day. But today we have come with an extremely special guest. And I'll tell you why is he special. Because you keep seeing him in Rev Sports, you keep seeing him in Star Sports, you'll see him everywhere. But he's special because I at least get to pick his brains as much as I can when it comes to cricket. In fact, Snehashish, do you remember you and I at indoor? We were watching the practice session of Harmanpreet Kaur. She was using tiles, and we were a little confused that what were the tiles for. And he was, I think, Deepta was in England.
Yeah.
Snehashish was like, it'll be afternoon for him. Deepta, this is happening. We are sending you a picture. Can you just tell us what? So he came up with why Herman was practicing with it, and
But
of
Trisha,
course,
you also you got to say it's not one-sided, obviously. I mean,
of
and
course,
every time I need any help, and especially, I mean, you're one of, I mean, women's cricket, you're an expert in that because you follow so much. And yeah, we keep discussing, and I obviously pick your brains
yeah,
on that as well.
yes. Well,
Uh,
so today I'll pick your brain, Snehashish's brain, and my brain
yeah,
on. Now we are at that business end of WPL,
true.
where
Yeah,
RCB is well and truly into the playoffs and almost sure that out of three games, if they win one, they'll be straight up into the finals.
right.
But rest of the two teams, the fight for the rest of the two teams has become interesting with UP and Mumbai at 4 points with from six matches. But Mumbai, of course, has a way
Whoa.
better net run rate. That's why they're still at number three. Gujarat won their last game against UP and are now at number two with 6 points. Delhi,
Yeah.
4 points, 5 games. Today they are up against RCB, and I have definitely not forgotten that 10 for 4. But before we go into that, Deepta, just a word on overall, I would say someone like UP. You and I were
Yeah.
discussing this before the show as
Yes.
well. They have a very good team. Same with
Yes.
Delhi. They have a very good team on paper, but on
Yeah.
paper and execution has been so different. Why do you
Yeah.
think? And
Uh,
I'm talking to
yeah.
you. Why don't you think
Mm,
from a franchise's point of view? Because you have been there.
yeah.
So that way, if you can tell us.
Yeah, and Trish, I was actually going that way only from a franchise
Yeah.
point of view. So the advantage with teams like, let's say, MI, RCB to a great extent, even, yeah, I mean, predominantly these two, they've kept their nucleus the same. They haven't changed too much because obviously there
Mm.
was this mega auction. Now, the challenge with the newer sides, and especially when the captain is overseas, is to first understand the franchise, how the franchise works, because every franchise has its own way of working. That is one. New coach as well. Abhishek is a new coach with UP, so he's also trying to find his feet. I don't think he's coached women's cricket before, so he's also trying to figure out how things work and all of that. Obviously, Salvi is there, who's a really good help, and Lisa is there. Obviously, she's been part of the setup for a while. But when you have a new coach, new captain, and predominantly new team, right? A major number of your main players are new to the franchise. So it becomes very difficult, even though, I mean, obviously you can argue and say, Meg Lanning, she must have played against all of those big names or with them, right? Because franchise cricket, you play so much of cricket with or against. But to understand someone in the context of India and WPL, because I mean, you both cover so much of women's cricket. Again, women's cricket in India is different from, let's say, Australia or let's say
Yeah.
England. The
Yeah.
patterns are different. What works is very different in India. And who will do that job for you? Who is your number six? Who will open? Things like that. So most of these teams, this is a normal thing, even though on paper, and we were discussing this before the show. It is such an important aspect to get it right first up. And WPL being a shortish tournament, it's not a long tournament, right? You don't have a lot of matches. So basically, you lose the first two, three matches, 30% or 40% of your tournament is gone.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say what happened with UP Warriors. They lost two matches and quarter of 25% of the tournament is gone.
Yeah.
So I guess that is a big deal, and that is the reason I would always suggest give time, especially to when you have proven players like Meg Lanning leading and all, give them some time, they will come good. But I'm a little surprised. I thought they found their mojo against MI when they won back to
Yeah.
back. I thought, okay, now they're not
True.
going to leave this. They've figured out the right combination. They figured out who does what.
Mm.
But too bad. I mean, they've gone back to that losing streak again.
Yeah, you talked about retaining the core. I'll take that
Yeah,
point on a little. Say, for
yeah,
example, MI, has retained, of
yeah.
course, they retained Nat Silverbrandt and they bought Amelia Kerr. They
Kirk,
had
yeah,
retained Kelly Matthews. And
yeah,
of course, the fourth one, Shabnam Ismail, also they bought.
yeah,
But now they got someone like Nicola Carey, who they used, and she
yeah.
performed well, and she's performing both with the bat and ball. And now
True,
the whole balance is disrupted to the extent that Mumbai doesn't know who to
true,
play.
true. And so credit to Nicola Carey. She came in. She was obviously not the first choice, right?
Yeah.
So she came in only because Haley Matthews had a shoulder injury. So she was out. Nicola Carey comes in. She performs with bat and ball. And please understand, she comes in a very, she's not a like for like substitute for
Yes.
Haley, right? Opener, off spin, even though Haley might bowl those with a new ball or whatever, but she's a spinner and an opening bat. So suddenly the dynamics are very different and the combination is different. Then you try to get Haley Matthews in, right?
Mm.
Because Nat Brunt was, I think, ill, right? So you bring her in, and then again, when Nat Brunt was fit the next game, you didn't have an option. You're like, what do you do? So I think credit to Nicola for performing the way she has and making a name for herself. But somewhere in the mindset or the combination that you've thought of, and suddenly this goes awry, right? And suddenly you're like, geez, what do I do now? So in fact, I don't know why they got Haley Matthews for one game and then didn't persist with it after that. She was dropped again and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, listen, they are a champion side. They still have, a few games left. What they have, two more games.
Two games. Yeah.
And for me, and I always say this, never rule out a champion. And Harman
Mm.
started off very strongly. They tried, I mean, so they tried opening with Amanjot, right? And then Kamalini was opening, then she went back, so
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I mean, the injury to Haley Matthews was a spanner in the wheels for them.
But also, how does something like this work? That for example, Annabelle Sutherland had suddenly pulls off,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
says that not coming for this WPL.
uh,
Perry, I think, informed about that before the auction, but you
okay,
know, Sutherland probably did it after the auction. So how does the whole thing affect a franchisee? So you have retained someone, and that player is
yeah.
not coming.
And important players. Alice
Yeah.
Perry, I mean, it was only announced after the auction, so I don't know.
Yeah.
You know better than I do, but only read it after the auction. Sutherland as well.
RCB
She is,
basically said that she had informed before. We are not
okay, fair
100%
enough.
sure,
Yeah.
because my
So
only thing was if she had
yeah,
informed before, then why did RCB not buy Sayali, instead of that
yeah,
waited for a replacement? But anyway.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, so I'm just gonna go by what I read or what I
Mhm.
heard, which was
Mm.
post-auction and Sutherland as well. Now the problem is if this was like a fringe player, okay, but when you're talking about your main players, when
Mm.
your team revolves around those three, four, five players, and then everyone chips in, and Sutherland and obviously Alice Perry are two players where the team revolves around those players. Sutherland will bowl four overs, the tough ones, middle order. I mean, more like, a seam version of Ashley Gardner. Right. So that's what she would do. And not have her, because you can't replace that, right? You can't replace a
Yeah.
main player. You obviously the people who are unsold or who went unsold in the auction weren't obviously your top priority. So they can't change your number one player, number two player, right? So obviously that is a, I mean that is tough for the franchise. I do understand, players from time to time they have issues and all of that. So don't want to get into why and why not. But yeah, from a franchise point of view, and it's an absolute nightmare. No two ways about it.
Yes.
Yeah,
I want to ask you about the wicket keepers in this WPL. Obviously, Richa Ghosh, we always keep an eye on her, obviously, in the perspective of
yeah,
Team India. So Richa Ghosh, and
yeah.
we saw G Kamalini for Mumbai Indians right now. In the last match, we saw someone like Rahila Firdaus behind the stumps. I think she was brilliant in the first
Yes,
game. So how do you rate all
yes.
this wicket? And Shweta Sherawat, UP somehow pulled up that thing that Shweta Sherawat can be their wicket keeper. So how do you think about the wicket keepers this season?
Okay, I'm gonna keep Shweta out of this conversation because it is unfair, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
So let's not even talk about her in this conversation
Okay.
because I mean she's not a wicket keeper. She's been asked to do a job, and
Hmm.
trust me, she's working very hard, right? And it
yeah.
is not easy. It is definitely not easy
Right.
overnight from I mean outfield person to come and stand behind the stumps. So I'm gonna keep her aside. I think was really nice. In fact, you know what? One of the game,
Rahila
one of the big
Firdaus.
Raila Firdaus, because I saw her keeping while the teams were warming up, and I still remember it was Mitali or Anjum or someone I asked, who is this player? Because you see someone, you see the movements and collection and all of that, and I was like, yeah, I mean, she looks really good. So sorry. So I think, yeah, I mean, she's really good. Richa, is getting better. Komulini, what I like about Komulini is she's got good hands. She has a lot of upside. I saw a few of those games. I covered a few of the games where, she collected some of those balls down leg side. They were absolutely brilliant. So I think she's also a work in progress. And yeah, I mean, see, obviously, from an Indian team perspective, you do need a good keeper, right? And you need Richa to improve as well, as far as keeping is concerned. I mean, she's obviously is your number one when it comes to white ball cricket. But then, ideally speaking, you want her to improve as well, her keeping side of things. So it's good to see that she's working on it. She's getting better, and most importantly, there has to be more um competition coming through as well.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Absolutely. The other thing I wanted to ask about wicket keeping, you was
Yeah,
Lizelle Lee also because she got a lot of flack initially in social media. What you have to see all my life in the sense life after I was a cricketer and I
yeah,
started gaining weight. My life
yeah,
has been about explaining to people that weight and fitness are two very different things. Might not be
yeah.
absolutely different, but are pretty different. But I think when Lizelle Lee was selected, even we got a lot of comments saying, "Why Lizelle Lee?" This that. But what about Lizelle Lee's keeping? What do you think about her keeping?
Listen, she has been an international player, I don't know, for maybe obviously more than a decade, but 15, 20 years she's
Yeah.
played
Yeah.
for South
Yes.
Africa. And so, what happens is once you're used to keeping, your basics don't go away, right? Even if
Mhm.
you're not as fit as you were maybe 10 years ago, you still
Mm.
know how to manage things, right? Through experience. So those hands will not change. If the ball
Yeah.
comes to you, your hands will not start shaking, right?
Yeah.
Now, thing is, can your feet take you to the ball? As long as your
Hmm.
feet can take you to the ball, you're all right. And I think, listen, and to be fair, I mean, listen, I believe she's almost kind of semi-retired, not from international cricket, but from cricket
Yeah.
per se. All she does, I guess, plays BBL. I believe she's moved to Australia.
For
She wants
umpiring.
to be
Yeah.
yeah, she
Comparing.
started
Yeah.
umpiring and she wants to umpire and stuff like that. So she's already started on another path. I mean, I won't be surprised if she was surprised that she was picked and all. But she obviously, I mean, listen, I mean, she's done a good job. She's got runs with the bat in a few games. And someone like Lizzie, if she gets runs, they'll be quick, right? She's not going to muck about. So, and keeping wise as well, I mean, she's done a proper job for DC.
One more thing I wanted to ask, Snehashish, can you ask? Because I am asking continuously. I have loads of questions. I can keep asking him the entire
Go on, go on, go on.
So, I
So,
also wanted to understand something. Say, for example, we keep talking about Gujarat Giants and in Gujarat Giants' over dependence on overseas players.
Yes,
Because in the setup, there are no Indians, Deepda. So, you don't know how Indian domestic players are going to work. How big
yes,
a disadvantage is that? Because, say, for
yes,
example, in the finals, if a Ash Gardner, Beth Mooney, Sophie Devine, everyone fails, then suddenly the team has nobody to look at. They didn't use
100%.
Rajeshwari Gaikwad properly, who got 3 wickets and player of the match last game.
First few games she was playing as a fielder.
Yes,
yes,
and she can't
to
So
even
hold on
field.
in 1 over.
Yes,
stop being so rude. No, I mean, I completely agree, and I was a little surprised when I was looking at Gujarat Giants and the support stuff. And yeah, I mean, it. I mean, the coach is overseas, the captain obviously is overseas. So obviously the focus will always be on the overseas, right? You've got to have at least one assistant coach or a who who will help with the domestic players, because no
mm,
matter how good those overseas players are, and they are all very good players, they will help you win one game, two game, three games, right? But for you to win a tournament, you need contributions from your domestic players. There's absolutely no two ways about it, right? You can't win a tournament based on just your overseas players. So yeah, I mean, listen, but in fact, talking about us keeping in touch, I still remember this was the evening before the Nagpur game, right? Gujarat and RCB game. And I saw Happy Kumari Bull and I was like, Trisha,
yeah,
this girl looks really good. She's got a wonderful action. And then you said, oh, she was a sprinter and all of that.
yeah,
No wonder. I was like, no wonder she's got a good action. She sprints so well. And yeah, I mean, where were these players? I mean, someone like Happy Kumari, someone like, I mean, credit Anushka Sharma, she's done really well as well.
yeah.
Um, yeah, Kanika, I mean, she's obviously
Kanika,
done
yeah,
well for RCB.
yeah.
RCB also, she's done well in previous years. But Kanika, even though, I mean, she's just played one game at number three, or maybe two games at number three.
2 games, yeah. But
Two,
one,
yeah.
I thought she did really well. That one
Yeah,
game when she was promoted, yeah,
she got 30 odd, I believe, or something,
yeah.
and she looked really good. So, but the issue then becomes with all overseas coaching staff and captain as well, is then there is obviously a communication gap. For example, Kashvi Gautam, right? I mean, or Happy for that matter. How do you communicate? Are you sure that what you're saying they're receiving exactly what you want them to do? Or there is, some, things lost in the whole translation process. So yeah, I mean, for me, I think yes, there are some senior players like Renuka and all who can handle the younger lot. I'm sure in a setup like this, player like Renuka experience would have a bigger role to play. She might be, the vice captain or captain who looks after the domestic players. I'm sure
Mm.
she would have a bigger role. But even then, I think every franchise should at least have an Indian either as a coach or as a captain or head coach. You got to have one.
Okay, I have a question regarding RCB only.
Yeah,
RCB have been fantastic, winning all of their
yeah,
games. But today there is a possibility that they might look to bring back Arundhati because the fitness
yeah.
issue might be gone by now. But Saleh Sadgare is doing very well in the last two games, 6 wickets now. So as a
Showing
team,
Pooja's
how?
name here as well.
Yes, even people are asking for Pooja to get included also. So how you are seeing this approach? How the team will approach having so many good options
Yeah.
right now, and also your view on not using Prema Rawat the bowler because Prema has been brilliant in the last 1 year with the ball, and even in the with the batting also. And how do you see that?
I mean, it's a difficult one as far as Prema is concerned. That's where again I would like to see more Indian coaches getting involved, even though Jemmy is there as a captain, and she's leading. Obviously, she has Prema there on the field, unless she does not have as much
Smriti.
confidence in
Smriti
her.
and Jemmy are best friends. Don't call her Jemmy. You call Smriti
Who?
Jemmy just now.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Smriti. So either
Yes,
she
Smriti.
does not or she does not need, because if you look at RCB, and if our memory serves me right, they've actually
Yeah,
used
they
five
have enough
bowlers.
bowlers. No, no, they have
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
than they have, I think, seven
yeah,
odd bowlers. But
Mm.
that is where
yeah,
Deepta, I wanted to ask if you have seven
yeah.
bowlers as a captain, now you have changed roles. Now you have become the
And
captain.
yeah,
As the
yeah.
captain, how do you go about it?
It is difficult. So, for example, let's say the Australian team, they have bloody, what,
Hmm.
eight, nine bowling option.
Nine bowlers.
Very rarely you see one bowler finishing their quota of 4 or 10 for that
Yes.
matter,
Yeah.
right? Right through the World Cup, very rarely you see somebody finishing 10 overs. So you
Hmm.
rotate, you keep rotating, and that is an advantage actually in women's cricket because you have a lot of all-rounders. Every
Yeah.
team, almost every team, I guess
Mm.
every team does have at least 6, 7 bowling option. So you can always rotate them and don't let the batters settle down and line bowlers up. So yeah, I mean with Prema as well. In fact, I think Trish, you and I we had this discussion before the World Cup as well, and I said, why not Prema in that World Cup side?
Yes.
She I think had done well against playing for India
Australia.
A. She picked up,
Yeah.
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 And I was like, maybe one thing that India's missing in that squad is maybe a leg spinner or something. But anyways, obviously we're champions now. But I'm a little surprised why? Because yeah, but but again, I go back to that again. Is there a lack of confidence with the Indian senior players or whatever that's something that they know and we don't know
Hmm.
about Prema, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
So there are things, they can always be things like, whatever doesn't suit this format or,
And
I
the
can't
pressures
get
of,
them during,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, can't get them in the first six, last four or whatever,
Hmm.
or, matchups and also, I don't know. Ideally speaking, yes, I mean, you have a wrist spinner and she's done well. Why not? I wouldn't know. And I don't know. And to be fair, their bowlers have done really well. They haven't,
Yeah.
I mean, someone like Grace Harris doesn't get to bowl her, right?
And Grace
She's
Harris reminds everyone that she's a bowler. In fact, Deepta,
exactly
your conversation with Grace Harris,
Grace.
man.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, are you gonna bowl at all? Yeah, and Grace being Grace, I mean, she was superb actually. She's a proper entertainer. She was absolutely brilliant. Um, so yeah, I mean, and I guess Smriti wants to stick to the same
Yeah.
template, which has worked, and which is fair. I mean, they're 5 out of 5, so it has obviously worked. So, and their bowlers have done well. Shriyanka has done well. Obviously, Lauren Bell has done well. Sadgare has come in, she's bowled well. Right?
Yeah.
So they really don't need to move away so far. Maybe if they get hit, maybe today if Shefali gets going and suddenly, one of the bowlers get hit, then she might move to another option. But as of now, they haven't really been put under pressure so much that
Hmm.
Smriti has to kind of move away from her template or what has worked for them so far.
Hmm. I actually have two questions here. One is related to what we were just speaking. Say, for example, Smriti is also obviously the Indian vice captain. So
Yeah,
now, when you're playing franchisee cricket and you're the Indian vice captain as well, somewhere you feel that I have Prema Rawat, who might not be as needed in RCB, but could be very important in the Indian scheme of things. So, do I then bowl her, not bowl her, or is it like a job? When I'm doing this project, I stick to this
yeah.
project.
Yeah, it's like you've got to stay in the moment. At this point in time, she is RCB captain. This is how I see it.
Hmm.
She's not India's vice captain at this point in time. Yeah, I mean that will happen when India is playing Australia in a few weeks' time or a month's time. That will happen. Then she will be the India player and the India vice captain. But as of now, she will do the best for RCB. Whether we agree or disagree, that's a different issue. That is always debatable. But I'm 100% confident that she will do whatever is best for RCB.
And one last question before I take the whole discussion before we talk about
Sorry,
the match.
quickly,
It's
one
all
more thing.
important.
Sorry, Trish. I
Yeah.
think Sneha is also part of that question was if Pooja is available,
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
what
yes.
happened, right? I, I think Sadhgare has done well there. The best thing
Mm.
about look at the mode of dismissals, right?
Bold.
And if you look at her spells,
Mm.
most of the balls were hitting the stumps and the ball was
Yes.
Yeah.
swinging, right? And this is my take is a lot of batters and even in men's cricket for that matter, uh, you tend to go across. Either you tend to go across or you move away from the line and just swing the bat, right? So the
Mm.
chances of a bowler to be successful obviously increases if you're hitting the stumps, right? And with swing, she's not bowling
Mm.
straight up and down, right? She's swinging the
Mm.
ball as well. And the moment you start swinging, irrespective whatever cricket you're playing, and you're hitting the stumps more often than not, you can be a dangerous, dangerous bowler. And I'm looking at the DC batting lineup. I mean, I wouldn't mind she continuing in that position of hers.
Mm.
Right. We'll in a bit get to know whether she's continuing or
Yeah,
not.
fair enough.
So my
Yeah,
first question will be to the last question on you know the whole WPL would be
yeah.
Ashley Gardner said something which has struck in my head, and I have also written about it because it was so un-Australia like. She said, "You know what? My matchup is not good enough against Herman, so I did not bowl myself at all." You are an
Yeah,
international bowler. How are you saying that? Do you think, Deepda, these numbers, these matchups are overdone in cricket now?
I forgot I did the toss after that match, the next Gujarat Giants
Mm,
match.
mm,
And I forgot to ask her, as in, how much does she believe in data? Because you do believe in a lot of data. And then that's the other thing. When you have overseas captain and coach, when you haven't seen domestic cricket or domestic players enough, right? There are two things, okay? One is the data, numbers, and there is the eye test, right? When you haven't seen a player enough, so you don't have the eye test to go with, you predominantly would have
Data.
data to go with. That is one. So obviously, the philosophy or the mindset itself then changes to data. That is one.
mm.
And I also know a lot of people, what they do is send videos of players, correct? So even, they must have sent it to Klinger or Ashley Gardner, the videos of the players. Chances are you will be only making videos of the good shots or bad shots, correct?
Yeah.
It's a highlights package, right? What you send is highlights package, or maybe two balls or three balls. It's very difficult to judge a player because at this level, at the WPL level, which is only a step below international cricket, at par with almost international cricket, maybe just a step below it,
Mm.
your attitude, your game awareness is equally important as much as talent and everything else. Right? So I guess that's the other reason. And going by data and all, yes, I was surprised, but I still remember saying this on, and I think, and I said Smriti has started to play more on mid on and straight down the wicket. Her front toe is opening up and she's playing. I think it was the game against Gujarat. No, she got out trying to leg before again to who did she get leg before to an off spinner?
Yeah.
Uh,
Against
was it?
Gujarat,
I don't know.
Ashley Gardner only dismissed her. Ashley Gardner
Yeah.
dismissed her
Ash
against
was
After
only
Gujarat.
that,
right. Same
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
She wanted to
Yeah.
flick a straight ball to square leg, very
Mm.
very similar way, right? I like, oh, geez, come on, Smriti. I thought you were playing straight down the ground, right? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess there are some people who follow data a lot, and especially a little more when the team isn't doing very well, because then you have something to fall back on and say, you know what, the data suggested this, right? So that sixth sense or that you at times when you know players very well, you have this feeling, you have a gut feeling saying, you know what, let's see, I mean, let's give this person a chance. So anyway, so I think, yeah, I guess it's time for toss, is it?
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
and
so.
Delhi Capitals have
So
won the toss and they have opted to bowl first. Trishadi very
No
happy.
surprise.
Yes, Trishadi very happy.
Why?
yeah, by the way,
Why
Deepda,
is
I
it?
hope you are aware. No, I know you are aware because I remember last year WPL final, Deepda was doing the commentary. He calls,
Mm.
and I am
Yeah,
completely, in a state of
yeah,
mourning the way DC was playing.
yeah,
And Deepda calls,
yeah.
and Deepda is like, "Yeah, so what's up? How do you think the commentary is going? Do you think this, that?" And after some time, he's like, "What happened to you?" I said, "Deepda, I'm a Delhi supporter." Arey, but so much. Why are you so serious? It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because obviously DC had lost couple of quick wickets, right? I think
Yeah.
Meg Lanning and a couple of other guys got out early and all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, now I remember why DC and why you're happy that they won the toss and they're chasing.
Yes.
Yeah, come on, what's the team
And
like?
and
Have they made any
DC and
changes?
DC have made two changes today. Two
Oh, okay.
changes. Lucy Hamilton is not playing. Shinil Henry is back, and obviously Dia Yadav has been ruled out. So Minnu Manni is back in the playing 11.
Right. Okay. I mean, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, DC, when you look at that bowling attack, it's such a good bowling attack, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I thought, yeah, I mean, you have experience, you have youngsters like Minu Mani, Sri Charani. I think both of them are superb bowlers. I was a little disappointed with Charani, to be fair. I thought, I mean, I think she's a gun bowler. Sneh Rana, that's been an issue. Marizan Kaap, obviously, I mean, leave aside the last game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, again, DC has been something like MI, really, or rather UP Warriors as well. It looks
Mm.
really good on paper, but I don't think you know, they've done well enough. They've played well
Yeah.
enough. Yeah, so that's what.
But
Hmm.
and this is what I wanted to understand that Sneh Rana, something happened, did not play, did play against Pakistan in Colombo, and
Yes.
since
After
Yeah.
that.
then, since then has been looking all over the place and has hardly landed the ball. That's another thing altogether, which is so weird.
Yeah, I mean, it is actually, and I really, really like Sneh Rana because I think she's a smart bowler. So
Yeah.
Deepti and Sneh, I
Yes.
think they use their experience really well.
Mm.
They read players, they read the match situation really well and bowl accordingly. I still remember against Australia, she was the first one to come round the wicket and start bowling in that series, and then Deepti also started doing it, even though Deepti, I believe, is very reluctant against the right-hander though. So I think things like that, I think that, I mean, Sneh, but for some reason, I don't know whether prep-wise or otherwise, I'm not too sure what's going on in that dressing room because that again, that dressing room has a new coach and a new captain,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
So Saurabh was there for last year. I remember obviously he's not there. He's doing well for Pretoria Capitals. They are playing
Yes.
finals tomorrow, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So yeah, it's Matthew Mott and obviously Jemmy there. It's a new combination, new coach. Uh, Mott obviously is has done exceedingly
Matthew was
well.
no, Jonathan Betty,
No.
no?
Jonathan
Is
Betty.
it Jonathan Batty?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
Jonathan
thought.
Betty.
Jonathan Betty.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought. Oh, okay. Oh,
That's
Jonathan
why
Batty. Oh, okay.
Southern Betty is the one who got Sutherland because they have this coach player pair in Melbourne Stars, I
Okay. Oh,
think.
sorry.
Maybe.
I was of the impression. Okay. But anyway, so
Mm.
yeah, I mean, again, it's a new coach captain combination.
Mhm.
So yeah, I guess taking a little bit of time. Maybe they want Sneh to perform a different role or something. But you would expect somebody with that kind of experience that Sneh has would figure out a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even if you think a lot of really senior and world-class players really haven't performed as well as you expect them to.
Expect.
Okay, and Sneh is one of them, but the list is I don't know why, and both of you, Sneha, and Trish, because you guys follow women's cricket a lot. Is there a transition which is happening in women's cricket internationally, where the older lot is making way for the younger lot, and it's kind of you can see that in WPL as well. The younger lot's coming through,
Mm.
and the older lot, the legends of the game, aren't playing their best cricket, or
Yes,
aren't performing
absolutely.
as they.
Mm. Even I think if that happened to it, Australian cricket also, if you see Beth Moon's performance in this WPL, it is not
Yeah,
working for her at all. Again, me and Trisha they were discussing in another live show that there are so many young names of Australian cricket who are waiting for their chances. Someone like Lucy Hamilton, someone like Nicole Feltham, who is yet to play in WPL, but we all know how
yeah.
big hype is around her in Australia. So I think it's happening all around the world. So let's
Yeah,
see.
so that's what
Yeah.
I think. So I think it is also, I mean, I was thinking about it, and I'm glad you both agree with that because I thought I'm kind of over analyzing things, which I tend to do a bit of.
No, no, it's actually true. In
So,
fact, I would say I was quite surprised to see India's ODI and Test squad. T20, I was perfectly happy with and satisfied with, but I thought Test and ODI had to move on from Harmanpreet Kaur, and nothing against her. Of course, she has won the World Cup, but um, I don't think 4 years down the line I'm seeing her captaining in another ODI World Cup, which is where be it Smriti, be it Jemmy, be it Shafali, whoever is your captain has to
uh,
get that. I mean, Divya, is it wrong that I think, at least I think that it should be World Cup to World Cup cycle? When in uh, Test, I understand
yeah.
it's one off, but
Yeah, yeah.
shouldn't it be
I mean,
World Cup to World Cup cycle?
it usually is in white ball cricket, especially across the world, because you have a cycle in place, right?
Yeah,
Even in men's WTC, you have a cycle now, so you can always work accordingly. This cycle
yeah,
will be available for the whole cycle and play the
yeah,
finals if you qualify. Same with white ball cricket. But I guess one is, yeah, you have options as well. It's not that you don't, you need to groom someone. I guess the whole mindset would be to, keep that team together for longer, maybe till the T20 World Cup, which
mm,
is not far. I mean, which is what, 6 months from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of, keep the same team so they spend more time with each other, so they gel better, they know each other better. And I will not be too upset with that because now stakes are high, right? Till now, for the longest time, you always had Australia as your favorites, and then, you know, and anyone beating
right.
Australia
Yeah,
would be an upset.
Yeah.
Correct.
yeah,
But I think, and India has proven over the last 2, 3 years that it was a strong second to Australia. But after
mm,
winning the World Cup, this is a chance for India to say, you know what, we are not second to no one. We are as good as Australia, if not better. So, for that to happen, I think it is important that India keeps winning from here on regularly, like Australia did for last, I don't know, maybe 2 decades now. So
mm,
if that means you continue with the same group of people so that, they get closer, they understand better, and it becomes second nature to them, so be it. Because I think that T20 World Cup again will be an acid test because obviously Australia will come stronger and they'll be,
yeah.
you know, yeah, they'll come out fighting. So would like South Africa, England, and all of them as well. So, yeah, and if that's how the selectors are thinking and the coach and the team management's thinking, I think it's all right. I mean, it's fair.
Mhm. Yes. By the way, RCB have made only one change, and obviously, I think it was expected. Prema out, Arundhati Reddy is back.
Okay.
How many pacers do they have now?
They have now Arundhati, they have now Lauren Bell, Sali Sadgare, and
How
Nadine
good
Clark.
has been? How good
Nadine
has been Lauren Bell? Yeah, they have Nadine Declare because everybody will bowl pace today for RCB.
No. So you have
Shriyanka,
obviously Shriyanka,
Priyanka.
Radha,
Yeah.
Shriyanka,
Radha.
and if required, I guess Grace Harris can come
Yeah,
bowl
sorry, I
over
keep
there also.
forgetting that Radha is a spinner. For me, Radha is see Radha is what Rajeshwari you said about Rajeshwari. For me,
Yeah.
Radha can play only as a fielder. I'm like, yeah,
But
ठीक है उसको fielding चाहिए.
But again, I mean, she's done fabulously. I mean, obviously not the first few games, but she's done well as a
Mm.
batter at five.
Yeah,
Whereas,
one match
uh,
that she got, she did well. I
yeah,
thought. But
yeah,
Deepta,
and
how much does it? I was saying in one of the post shows only that I feel that be it Arundhati, be it Radha, all have played better under Smriti because there is a sort of camaraderie also off the field there.
huh,
Like
huh,
Radha in DC wasn't half of what Radha is in RCB.
yeah, yeah. Obviously, I mean, there are players who play better or they click better. They're on the same page. Some other player would say the absolute opposite of that. Would say, you know what,
Mm,
I perform better with some other coach or captain. So
Mhm.
I think
mm,
that's fine. I guess as long as player and coaches are being honest to themselves and they're being honest, I think you find a way. I mean, that's what good coaches and good bowlers do. They find a way to, because end of the day, I mean, the goal is the same, is to perform and win games. So as long as you can align your individual goals with the team goal, I
mm.
think it should be all right.
Okay, Snehash, if you have questions asked, then we'll take comments because there are some comments which are like,
Yes.
"Are you going to take our question today or not?"
Yes,
Oh, okay.
threats are coming. Yeah, I think I'm done with my questions. You please go ahead with the comments.
Right. Shibam Keshri says Trisha, DC need to win. Okay. Yes, DC need to win. We all know that.
Yeah.
Shibam also says that the final will be DC versus RCB. And if the final is between DC versus RCB, who do I think will win? I think DC will win, because that is what I've been thinking for the last 3 years. And if you talk about IPL, I've been thinking of that since the last 17 years, in the 18th year. Right? Um,
Oh, jeez.
but Anjali here is asking, and Deepda, do you think DC can beat RCB?
DC definitely can beat RCB. I think what has really worked well for RCB is they've gelled really well as a team, right? That's something that has really happened. And I mean, when you win games, you gel anyways, right?
Yeah.
I mean, nothing can be better than winning games, right? Everything is good, iron over all the faults, and if anything happens, they're like, it doesn't matter, winning, combination and winning teams and all of that. So I think, yeah, they've been winning, and they've been winning um close games as well. I mean, first game is a great example. I mean, they had no business winning that game. That was MI's game. But then went on to win it. They've won a couple of other games where it was tight. So they've found ways to win games. Look at their player of the matches. I think all five player of the matches are different, right? They have
Mhm.
Mm.
different player of the matches. So everyone's contributing, and that is very, very important, right? I mean, and that's why I think RCB is unbeaten so far. Can DC beat them? Yes, they can. I mean, they seem to have found a little bit of rhythm, but DC season has been stop-start. Every time they start looking good, then they lose.
Mhm.
Then
Yeah.
they win one, they lose again. So it's been a stop-start kind of a season for them. But 100% they need the big names, the Jemmies and all of them, and then Maizan Cubs and all of them to fire. Shefali,
Yeah. I think they need
yeah,
Laura also to fire one game. Yes. Yes.
yes, yeah, and Laura hasn't actually. Laura hasn't. But you know what? What will be interesting? I want to see how Shefali handles Lauren Bell. Does Shefali play her out, or she attacks Lauren Bell? Because the other important thing is, and a lot of Australians think like this, so they attack the best bowler of the opposition. So if, let's say, Shefali attacks or Lizzie attacks, and Lauren Bell goes for, I don't know, 12 of the first over, which hasn't happened so far,
Whoa.
how does
This,
RCB react to that then?
Mhm.
Right?
and under
And
pressure, RCB's captain is not a great captain. He has
again, I
not
mean,
been good on the captain.
I don't know about that. I mean, that's
No,
what I'm saying.
I'm
And in
quite
the
confident of that. I'm quite confident of that.
but I
Put
would I
under
would
pressure.
really I really would want to see uh, one of them,
So, if you
whether it's
were the DC
Shefali.
coach, will you ask Shafali to play Lauren Bell out, or will you ask her to attack?
So this is what I will definitely say. I would say use Lauren Bell's pace more often than not because okay, let's figure out the length that Lauren Bell bowls. She bowls back of length, correct? And she does get the ball to swing. The moment Shefali gets on the front foot and wants to pull off the front foot, she gets late, right? I'd tell
Yeah.
her you rather place it and use that pace to play square of the wicket on the offside or whatever, than actually try and hit the ball hard. So,
Mm.
so be a little more smart about taking Lauren Bell all. Lizzie, listen, I mean, I will just leave her as is. She's played enough cricket. You're like, you know what? Go enjoy yourself, do the best you can, and hope for the best. And yeah, if because everything, if you look at all the RCB games, they are based around that first two, 3 overs when Lauren Bell comes in, bowls superbly, goes
Mm.
for 4 in 2 or 6 in 2 and a wicket or even wicketless. And then that whole pressure builds up, that is backed by the other bowlers from the other end. Yeah, it'll be quite interesting if that does happen. But anyways, it's RCB batting first.
Yeah. Snehashish, any idea on what is the kind of energy that injury, not energy, Dia and this one had Mamta? We don't have any idea, right? Snehashish is stuck
No.
again. Oh, you're
Yes,
not
yes.
stuck.
Just tell one.
I think I did read somewhere Dia has hamstring or something.
Okay,
No,
no idea.
what I got to know that maybe some back injury,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay. I mean, again,
I
you
guess.
How
okay.
much cricket are they playing that they're getting injured? So many people are
Yeah,
injured.
but she's also young, right? I mean, it's
Yes,
yeah, and suddenly what? She's 16,
but
Yeah,
it
17.
is good to see that she has been included in the squad for the Rising Asia Cup squad.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So obviously you got to look after them, and suddenly it's a huge jump from domestic cricket and your underage cricket to WPL. Yeah. So the intensity is very different, and you're pushing your body to the limit there. And obviously, as a youngster, you want to prove yourself as well, so you're pushing yourself more than 100%. So yeah, those things will happen, and it's part of the game.
Okay, Yupa Manikandan here says, "Hi Deep Das sir." Okay, guys, I have to tell you as much as I keep telling his fellow commentator that his name is not Deep Das. It is Deep space Das Gupta. So the Das Gupta are together. Deep is the name.
Let's take the
Anyway,
water. Yeah, yeah, go on.
big fan of your commentary. Who is the best wicket keeper in women's cricket according to you? Whoa.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Uh,
I mean,
Ideally, Alisa Healy. I mean, I know she dropped that catch. I mean, and thanks to her. But Beth.
thanks to her.
I mean, I don't know who I was talking to the other day. I was like, geez, she must be still having nightmares of that catch.
Yeah.
She would have caught 110 out of 100 of those catches.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, I think Alisa Healy, I mean, she's been good over the years. Beth Mooney has been good. Again, Beth Mooney hasn't had a good season behind the stumps.
So what do
This
you
one.
think is Richa's problem? I mean, again, guys, today I'm taking more of my question than your question because I saw Deepda and I have a lot of questions.
Yeah. No, Richard doesn't, it's not a problem. It's that how much does she want it? Is she ready to put in the work or not? That is my big question. Is she happy uh, being this super batter who can keep wickets, or she wants a super batter and be a superb keeper, right? So,
Mm,
and for that, obviously, she has to put in the work. Is she ready to put in
mm,
the work? She's ready to put in
mm.
the work, yeah. But yeah, that's something that she has to answer for herself. I mean, it's not about you, I, or Sneha or anyone says what. It's about her.
Guys, the questions about okay, there are questions about emerging Asia Cup and Test squad. We'll be doing a live. Snehashish and I will be doing a live at 3 p.m. tomorrow. We will talk about the Test and emerging Asia Cup squad because there's no WPL tomorrow. As far as the
No.
questions on men's cricket and Bangladesh issue is concerned, I always knew the moment Deepda comes, these questions are gonna come. But today we have hijacked Deepda. No men's cricket, only women's cricket. So. But this Mohit Patle has said something very interesting, Deepda, that see, when we were talking about Perry and Sutherland,
Yeah.
one, of course, they are important players. The other part is the amount of money that they were retained for 2 crores and 2.2 crores is almost 14 and 15% of the total purse, which is a major chunk. So
Yeah.
that is the other part where, how do you think
Yeah,
that
you
can be
could have.
solved?
I mean, you can't. You really can't. I mean, obviously in men's cricket, like not men's cricket, in IPL rather, uh,
Mm.
I think a couple of players have been banned. Like Harry Brook was banned, I believe, for not
Yes,
coming
Yes.
over
very good.
for 2 years. I don't know whether in WPL you should or you shouldn't. It's too early to introduce something like that. Um, and yeah, I mean, listen, while it is important to look after the franchises, but I think you have to look after the players as well. And
Mm.
if so, a lot of what happens in IPL, a lot of players they misuse it, right?
Mm.
And hence that rule was brought in, right? Suddenly
Mm.
you go for X amount of money and you think that money is not enough, and you're like, oh, what the hell? I'm not going, right? Suddenly you're
Right.
available for 4 matches, and when the money increases, three times, four times you're available for more than four games. So there are players who've misused it over the years,
Mm.
and that is where I think I think in IPL they've taken that call, uh,
Mm.
and I hope that's not the case in WPL. I think whatever's happened with Sutherland and Alice Perry is genuine reasons. You can always have genuine reasons, man. I mean, come on. I mean,
Mm.
let's not be this thing about it. But I think, yeah, as long as players are not messing about with it, right? You just have to deal with it. I mean, it's unfortunate, very unfortunate, but yeah, you just have to, I guess.
Also, I think especially this year, when Jemmy herself, in between WBBL said, or the
Yeah,
100 said,
yeah.
that I'm not
No,
going to go back.
WBBL.
WBBL, yeah,
Yeah,
WBBL. She said,
yeah,
I'm not going to go back, and that was respected. I think we too should, kind of
yeah,
extend the same
yeah.
respect.
And there were genuine reasons behind it as well,
Yeah.
right? I mean, Jemmy couldn't go back for a very genuine reason, and I'm
Yeah.
sure Alice Perry and Amy Sutherland would have genuine reasons as well. So yeah.
Shaurya Tiwari is asking Trishadi, can you confirm that Indian women's team are paid their World Cup prize money? Because Isabel Westbury did a story after 2020 World Cup that they are not paid money after 14 months. भाई मैं बीसीसीआई के क्या फिनेंस में हूँ आईसीसी के मुझे क्या पता पैसे कब मिल रहे हैं और वैसे भी आई थिंक प्राइस मनी एंड ऑल टेक्स अ लिटिल टाइम नथिंग अगेंस्ट इजाबेल वेस्टबरी वॉट एवर शी हैज had reported but I do think that it is not straight up everything. I have learned this over the years, Deepda, that everything is not discrimination against women. Some are part of the process itself and takes time. But people somehow, if a men's team does not get money for 14 months, people will have no problem. A women's team doesn't, and suddenly, like, we are not being paid. So I think there's a little bit of confusion there. ICC, BCCI, and ICC now, especially under Jay Shah, who for BCCI has done so much for women's cricket.
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah,
women's cricket will be looked after. Like, for example, it was a pleasant surprise for me when BCCI arranged a tour to South Africa for just five
yeah,
T20,
That,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
So now, before the World Cup, if you take the Sri Lanka tournament, we played five. There are five T20Is in England. I think five in
Mhm.
Australia or three in Australia.
I think
I
five in
I
think
think
Australia.
five. Yeah.
I
yeah.
think
So five
five.
in five against Australia in Australia, five in England in England. Sorry, against England in England, and five in South Africa against South Africa. So basically, you
Yeah,
still have 15 T20Is before the World Cup.
yeah.
So I mean, I think it's a brilliant
And I won't be
initiative.
surprised if there are more, put in there as and when, there is availability and stuff. I mean, for
Yeah.
example, the Sri Lanka tour came out of nowhere, right? Yeah,
Yes.
so
Bangladesh was supposed to come. Then with that,
yeah,
Bangladesh issued Sri Lanka.
withdrawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
but
But
earlier,
again, yeah,
Deepda, had Bangladesh not come, there wouldn't have
yeah,
been any other tour. The whole
exactly,
tour would have been gone.
exactly.
Yeah. No, no, I want to see the positive side. A lot of people spoke about the
Yeah,
prize money also. My point was from 0 to 51, you have come to. It'll go to 100 also. Make it a habit, you'll get more. In fact, if we keep winning, I'm sure we'll get more prize money than men also at one point. Depends on how you
yeah,
can keep
yeah,
increasing.
100%. You know the best thing that has happened, Trish and Snehashish,
Yeah.
WPL sponsors are different from
Mhm.
IPL sponsors. Name me
Yeah.
any, whether it's WBBL or Women's 100, they don't have separate sponsors, right? It's piggybacking on the men's, right?
Yeah.
So WPL is a standalone tournament with its own sponsors, own revenue stream. I mean, people don't realize how big a deal this is. You're not
Yeah.
piggybacking on IPL, you're not piggybacking on men's cricket. It's a standalone women's franchise cricket.
Point.
Brilliant. Okay, there's a super chat, and unfortunately, it's about men's cricket, but I still have to take it because it's a super chat. Question from Mr. Dasgupta: what happens if Pakistan? So Denver has played safe. He was confused about the name, so he said, "I'll just say Mr. Dasgupta." Mr. Dasgupta, what happens if Pakistan does a last-minute U-turn on this World Cup and doesn't come? What are the repercussions? How will ICC handle it? क्या यार तुम लोग इंडिया पाकिस्तान बांग्लादेश में
Oh.
पड़े हुए हो?
Listen, I think first of all, ICC needs to take a very, very strong action because left with 10 days to go,
Pakistan is already playing in Sri
two
Lanka
weeks.
only, no?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
but just
Mm.
I mean, I think I just read somewhere, I don't know how much of that is true or not, that they might end up in support of Bangladesh, they might end up um, not participating. And this can't happen, right? I mean, you can't just
Yeah.
wake up tomorrow and say, oh, I don't want to come, right? And something as late as this. So yeah, if they don't want to do it, if whatever it is for whatever reason, fair enough. But this can't be a norm that in the last moment you say, I'm not coming. You
Mm.
can't. I mean, that is so unfair and so unwanted. Uh, yeah, it is. It's just weird. So yes, I'm sure. I don't know what the repercussions are in terms of whether they get the revenue share. I'm quite certain in my head that if you don't participate, you don't get the revenue share, at least of the tournament. But if that's the case, why not just say, anyone who doesn't play or something, there would be more sanctions. I don't know. I mean, more fines or whatever,
Mm.
something on those lines. You know, because yes, I mean, there is an agreement that India won't go to Pakistan and Pakistan won't go to India, and hence the Sri Lanka thing. And now,
Mm.
I mean, that has been the case for a lot of years now. Correct.
Mm.
And now suddenly, if there's somebody else, if tomorrow New Zealand says, you know what, I'm not going to Australia. If Canada tomorrow says, I'm not going to US and playing, and US saying, I will only play in Greenland.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can't get in. I mean, you can't get into all of that.
Oh, yeah, true. Okay, before we let you go, two questions. One, do you think Georgia Wall is going to open with Smriti or Grace Harris with Smriti? Would you stick to it? No, Snehashish, we don't want you to see the TV and give an answer. Neither do we want that from Deepda.
Oh God. Okay. I would ideally would want to see Georgia Wall opening.
There you go. Honesty, that is why Deepda is my favorite because he'll say it on the face, like that.
Yeah,
And the other
but she is
thing,
not opening, right?
no,
No,
I
he
don't
is
think
not
so.
opening. Grace Harris has come out. Chinel Henry is getting ready with the new ball, fast over.
Very nice.
Okay.
Before we let Deepda go, of course, Deepda, one request: we should have more of such sessions
Yeah,
in the
sure.
coming days,
More than happy. More than
especially
happy.
especially with the T20 World Cup coming up.
Yeah,
We should get to hijack you a little more. And
sure.
finally, why do you think
100%.
DC will win? No, sorry. What is your prediction? DC or RCB?
Yeah, I mean, listen, how RCB is playing, it is difficult to look beyond RCB. But you know what? These last two, three games in the league stages are so important. You've got this momentum going. You don't want to lose the momentum, right? And what happens in the start of the tournament or mid phase, if you lose the momentum, you have time to regain the momentum, right?
Yeah.
So I hope RCB doesn't. They keep winning at least two out of the three.
Hmm.
Yes, two out of the three, if not all
Hmm.
three, and keep that momentum going because at this point in time, it's difficult to look beyond RCB to be fair.
I will take the 2 out of 3 answer because it suits me well. And
And
that
especially
can be MI.
losing today to
Yeah,
DC.
losing
Yes.
today, rest of the 2 games win because that fits perfectly. The RCB is up against MI day after tomorrow. They lose one more game. DC wins today's game. DC is in with a huge chance. So all these stories will keep happening. Snehashish and I, of course, will be back at 11:30 with the post show.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Deepda, for letting us
Pleasure.
pick your brain. We will make a habit of this. I anyway have a
Sure.
habit of this, but we will do
More
this
than happy.
more in the
More than
show.
happy to do it.
And thank you, Snehashish, for being an audience. No,
I have the best seat in the house.
yes, you have the
Nah,
best seat in the house. Let's go back, watch the
nah,
match, and do come back at
right.
11:30. Join
And
us.
thank you, right. Thank you, Snehashi Trish. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers,
Yeah.
guys.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.